Jay.
Hello.
Hey, Zayana.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. Y'all doing all right?
Doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Welcome, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. Just a few announcements before we take questions. Really quick, we ask that everybody silence their cell phones. If you would like to ask a question, just raise your hand. I will have somebody who will run a microphone, so they'll pass a microphone to you. When you ask your question, please state your name and your media affiliation. For anyone who's joining on Zoom, we are going to cover the questions in the room, and then if there's time afterwards, we'll save time to address any Zoom questions. We ask that you not record this on your phones, but a recording will be sent out as soon as the press conference is over. And for anyone, just one last note, when practice is closed, all media members need to use the stairwell behind the holding room to get to the concourse and to the media room. And with that, we will now open it up for questions. We have two student athletes joining us. We have Jade Masagayo and Zayana Walker. So we will now take it for questions. Right over here.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from the 9 Sports. Jade, I know this tournament is like a huge dream come true for you. Can you just speak to all of us about what it means to you to get here after 4 years?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you pretty much said, it's been 4 years, and I've been, really trying to chase this dream, being able to play March Madness. It's really exciting, especially to do it this year, because I feel like this year is really special to me. The best year of college basketball that I've ever played, especially with this group. I love this group so much. I'm just blessed, grateful. Yeah.
Awesome.
Brian Howell, Boulder Daily Camera, one for each of you. Jade, going off of that, you've had two very close misses to this tournament the last couple of years. 2 years ago at Missouri State, you guys lose on a buzzer beater in the conference title game.
Yep.
Last year, this team was one game really away. You were the first team out. So does that make this mean even more to you that, because you've been so close to tasting it, now you finally are here?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, had opportunities to get to the tournament, and we were just kind of a little bit shy. And so, yeah, just very grateful that, like, my last year, I'm able to, be in this tournament with all these guys, and just, play with the most important people in my life. So, yeah.
And then, Zai, for you, you've had the total opposite experience. This is your 4th year in college. You've been to the tournament all 4 years with 3 different teams. So this is nothing new to you, right? But a couple questions for you. But first off, do you take it for granted, or is it something like you appreciate every single time?
Oh, no, definitely not taking it for granted. We were at a point in the season where we didn't know if we were going to be able to make it here. So, yeah, definitely not taking it for granted, and just happy that we were able to lock in and get it done.
And then the second question is, being a part of some successful runs with Louisville and also K-State, what does it take to win in this tournament? I know it's different every year, it's different opponents, but what do you feel like it takes?
Yeah, it takes a lot. It's a lot to do with, some luck, unfortunately, but yeah, it's going to take competitiveness. It's going to take the right mindset. It's going to take every possession like it's the last possession, and all 5 people on the court at the same time got to play together.
Kind of going off of that, how can you give your teammates that have not been to a tournament advice, and what kind of things have you learned that you can help settle their nerves going into this tournament?
Yeah, I really just kind of want to take the pressure off everybody as much as possible. I want everybody to play free, just because that's when you play your best basketball. So kind of trying to get them in that mindset, and then just making sure they take it in the moment, taking the moment as well, because this is a blessing.
This is for both or either of you. You guys had like a pretty good upset in the tournament. Like, you surprised a lot of people, and you're coming in with a lot of good energy. How are you filtering that down to your teammates?
Yeah, just congratulate them for all the hard work and paying off, and you see the success that we had in the Big 12 tournament, and just try to keep bouncing and building off that. Stay confident but stay humble.
What she said.
So since you guys played on the glass court that got so much national attention a couple weeks ago, now you're on kind of a unique situation here. What do you feel about this setup here at Vanderbilt with the benches behind the baskets, things like that? Either one of you.
I feel like it's just a little bit different. We've never been able to play on a court like that where the benches are on like the baseline and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just a wooden court. We're all playing basketball, and even playing ground, we both haven't been able to play on a court like that, so it's just pretty level for sure.
Nice to be back on wood instead of playing in
Yes.
class.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much to Jade and to Zana. Thanks for joining us. This will conclude the student athlete portion of the press conference. Just as a reminder, a recording will be sent out and it will be available on the NCAA Digital Media Hub. And there will also be a transcript provided to us by ASAP. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started. Just a couple of very quick reminders to please silence all cell phones. We prohibit the recording of this press conference on your cell phone, but a recording will be sent out afterwards. If you have a question, just raise your hand, and we'll pass a microphone to you. And please remember to state your name and your media affiliation. And with that, we will now open up the floor to questions. We are joined by head coach J.R. Payne from the University of Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Stephanie from the 9 Sports. This is your 10th year with this program, which is a pretty incredible feat, I think. What has it been like when you started and getting all the way to 2026?
Oh, man. It's been a journey. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yeah, when we came to the University of Colorado, my children were babies. And now they're much older than they were. And so our family has grown up pretty much in the state of Colorado. Our program, I think, was in dead last place in the best conference in the country, in the Pac-12 at the time. And so that was another huge challenge. It's a hard thing to build a program, from last place. It's even harder to do it in such a tough conference. And so our staff was incredible. Most of our staff came with us from our previous school, very much like a family, and we knew that it would be very difficult to build a program. But we've just really, really continued to recruit the right type of people. We knew who we wanted to be, what we wanted to be about, and how we sort of wanted to go about building it. And that's just blue-collar, tough, fearless, that sort of mentality. And I would say, our team has gotten better, certainly over the years than those first few years, but the DNA of our program has remained the same, for all of those years. So in some senses, 10 years is like an eternity, to go from the cellar of the conference to a very now strong program. But in other ways, it's gone really quickly because Colorado's an incredible place. For those of you that haven't been there, it is beautiful. It is great people. It is healthy. It is the university's great. And so it really has been a blessing all these years. Even the very, very hard years were pretty great.
Kind of something that you said about your kids. I'm also a mom. Also, I think with women in sports, we can kind of sometimes shy away from talking about the fact that we incorporate all those things. Mm-hmm. Every coach here, I believe, has mentioned this today, and it's been a really cool part of the day for me and I think other people. What is it like I believe your kids were out here throwing a ball around in the hallway?
Probably
right?
tearing something up, I'm sure.
Right, but what is that like? How does that feel? Everybody's kind of touched on it. It would be great to just hear a little bit more about having your kids, having your family incorporated into the program.
Yeah, I mean, as my 10-year-old is here, my 10-year-old son, and we're on spring break. My older kids, it's harder to miss school and practices and things like that. But honestly, there's no better place, I think, to raise a family in the environment that we've been able to raise them. They're around these strong, incredible, competent, confident, beautiful college, athletes who are experiencing and accomplishing great things. I think that's a gift, especially for your girls, to grow up around that. And it's just a fun environment for them to see what's possible. You can play on a big stage. You can be strong and confident and capable, and so that's been really great. My son, it's funny, he's out there with our practice boys right now, and I don't know if he's more excited for the game or just to hang out with 5 college guys for a few days. But yeah, it's been really great, and I tell every young coach that asks me, how do you do that? How can you be a good coach and a good mom, and how can you do it all? And my biggest advice is always, you're not going to be perfect at any of it, but if you do your very best at all of it, you can do it. You can be a great coach. You can be a great mom. You can, I say you can have it all if you want to.
Hi, Coach. Lily Grace Kilgore with USA Today. I spoke with Desiree a little bit ago on her navigating her sickle cell trait, and I wanted to ask you how, as a coach and as your staff, how do you help support her, especially in those struggles with the higher altitude? What are you doing, you and your staff, to help support her in that?
Yeah, the first thing is we have an incredible strength and conditioning team. Our strength and conditioning coach, along with our athletic trainer and our team of doctors, are really wonderful. So creating a plan, right when she arrived and we learned that she had the sickle cell trait, just creating a plan for what that would look like. It's always safety and health above everything. And so, there's so many different ways that you can get an athlete in shape and keep them in shape. It doesn't have to be running, endlessly, and then if you're really starting to struggle, keep going. We just don't do that. So, with some athletes, certainly you can, but with someone with the trait, it's just not worth the risk. And so she's had a really, really concise plan from the very beginning, like when we did our summer conditioning and things like that. She was certainly conditioning, but it was not with us. It wasn't out on the field in the heat, and doing that type of stuff. So it really hasn't been that difficult because our team works so well together. She's very aware of how she's feeling and what she needs to do. We also are the type of coaches that, we don't really care if you do the running. As long as you're fit and you're ready to contribute and play on the court, you can get on the bike. It doesn't really matter to us. So I think that combination has worked really well for her. Yeah.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Just in general, knowing how difficult it is to get here, what does it mean to you to be here and, you're sitting in front of this March Madness backdrop? What does it mean for you to just be here?
Yeah, I mean, our program, it's an expectation, and has been for quite some time that we will play in March in this tournament and be able to win games, in March. So one, it's the way that we carry ourselves. We train for this from the very first practice in July all the way through until the practice we're about to have now. And so that's something that I think is sort of built into the program and how we train and how we compete each day. But I mean, it's awesome. This is the premier amateur basketball tournament in the world. And so for us to be here, being able to do it, for the last 5 years is really special and also something that our kids expect to do now.
And then the follow-up is, you mentioned July. This team's been at it for a long time now, and the things have changed. I mean, you go through 2 different semesters, and the team changes a lot. So how much has your team changed from July or even end of September when you started actual real practice to where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you add 10 new players to a roster of 13, there's going to be a tremendous amount of change. The great thing, however, though, is that as I mentioned earlier, like our culture and our identity and our DNA is the same, and it is who we are. And there isn't a lot of wiggle room in that. We're not going to recruit players that don't value hard work and don't value great teamwork and, those types of things. So in some ways we bring 10 new people and it's everything is different. In other ways, people assimilate and jump on the train pretty quickly because it's just how we operate, how we carry ourselves. But as far as like the makeup of the team, how it's grown, this group clicked immediately. Like they were, they just met each other, but we're almost like long lost sisters, from jump. And so like every team in the country, there's a lot of different types of people on our team, but they all value great teamwork. They all value having a really great locker room where they can challenge each other and compete. And so I think that allowed us to click very well. In time, obviously, the basketball has gotten better. I think if you saw us play, which you did see us play, in early November, we're certainly, a more polished ball club than we were at that time. So I think if we had another month or two to play, I think we would continue to get better as we go.
Do we have any other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach Payne.
Appreciate
Thanks for your
it.
time. And just one last reminder that Hammond Communications has a recording of this press conference, and it will be made available on the NCAA Media Hub. And there will also be a transcript provided by ASAP. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.